All right, let's jump right in. We're about to explore a pretty fascinating world where ancient legends and modern science actually meet, all through the power of sound. We're talking about Indian classical music, but maybe not in the way you think of it, not just as art, but as a form of medicine. I mean, that sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel, doesn't it? The legend goes that Mian Tansen, this incredible musician in the court of Emperor Akbar back in the 16th century, could literally start fires just by singing a particular piece of music, the Raga Deepak. It's such a powerful, dramatic story that has been told for centuries. So, naturally, that brings us to the big question. Can music really do that? Can a melody actually ignite a flame? Or, as another story about Tansen claims, bring rain from a perfectly clear sky? Now, lighting fires might be a bit of a stretch, but this myth gets at a much deeper belief that music has a real, profound physical power over our world. And that's the idea we're going to unpack. Okay, so to even begin to understand how sound could possibly heal someone, we need to look at the philosophy behind it all. And it's a pretty fundamental one, the belief that the entire universe is, at its core, just vibration. This idea is captured in a system called Nada Yoga. Nada literally just means sound or vibration. So the thinking here is that everything, you, me, the stars, it's all fundamentally energy and it's all vibrating. From this point of view, being sick isn't just a biological glitch. It's more like your body's natural vibrations are just out of tune. So Nada Yoga breaks these vibrations down into two main types. First, you have ahata, which is any struck sound you can actually hear, like music. Then you have anahata, the unstruck sound. Think of this as the silent, internal vibration of your own body, your own being. So the goal of music therapy is pretty cool. You use the external sound, the ahata, to tune and rebalance your internal sound, the anahata. All right, so if external sounds can fix our internal vibrations, how does it actually work? Well, let's look at the medicine itself, something called a raga. The main tool in the toolbox is the raga. And a raga is not just some random melody. A much better way to think of it is like a very specific musical prescription. It's a precise formula of notes and rules, all designed to create a very particular emotional state, which is called a rasa. And that emotional shift, in turn, is believed to trigger a real physiological response in your body. This whole practice is called raga chikisa, which literally means healing through ragas. And this isn't just some vague concept. Ancient texts are really specific about this. For example, Raga by Ravi is known for its calming, soothing effect. It's often used to help with things like stress and insomnia. Raga Malkounts, on the other hand, is said to create a really deep, meditative state, perfect for helping with focus and relaxation. And you know what's really cool? Modern science is finally starting to catch up. Studies are showing that even a little bit of this music can have measurable effects. One study found that just 10 minutes of listening led to a real significant drop in anxiety and even improved things like heart rate. So we've covered the theory and the history, but what does this actually look like in a real therapy session today? Let's take a look at how a therapist puts all this into practice. Well, it's a deeply personal process. It is not one size fits all. A therapist, like Ruma Chakravarti, starts with a complete assessment of the patient. Then they pick out key musical notes, or swaras, that are linked to whatever the issue is. So for someone feeling hopeless, an emotion tied to the heart, the note ma is key. Based on that, they choose a raga. And here's the crucial part. They deliver it in a way the patient actually connects with. It might not be a pure classical piece, but woven into a familiar film song that they already love. The power and versatility of a single raga can be just incredible. Let's take Darbari Kanara, for example. It's been used to help with insomnia, reduce pain during childbirth, and it's a huge stress reliever. But get this, in one amazing case in a Kolkata hospital, the sound of this raga played on a violin was actually used to help bring a patient out of a coma. Just think about that. The same piece of music can help you sleep or wake you up. It all just depends on how it's used. This is all pretty mind-blowing, but where does the field stand today? Let's talk about the path forward and how to integrate this ancient art with modern science. Really, the biggest challenge right now is bridging this gap. For centuries, the evidence has been mostly stories, powerful anecdotes, and historical texts. The goal now is to bring in the hard science, We need more rigorous, controlled scientific trials to really document and understand how and why this works. And it's so important to be responsible about this. Practitioners are very, very clear that this is meant to be an integrative therapy. It's designed to work alongside conventional medical treatment, not as a replacement for it, especially when you're dealing with serious conditions. So we're left with this really fascinating question. We've gone from a myth about a singer starting fires all the way to modern scientific studies that are measuring our heart rates. It just makes you wonder, as we search for new ways to heal, for the future of wellness, could it be that some of the most profound answers are actually waiting for us, hidden in the ancient vibrations of our past?